And then live. Cool. All right, we're good. Hey everybody, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Hello, bendiciones, bendiciones. Hey everybody. Hey Amador. Hello. Hey guys. All right, it's happy Friday, right? Dang, it's like TGIF. Remember TGIF back in the 90s? For those of y'all who were like born earlier than the 90s and remember the 90s shows like Family Matters and like TGIF, and I used to love TGIF. Like, it's Friday night and the moon is bright, we're gonna have some fun, show you how it's done, TGIF. So I remember all that. I don't know if y'all remember that. So it was the best night of the week, just because I mean back then it's not like I was too young. It's not like I wasn't go anywhere. And plus, just being at home and watching, shows and all that. Yeah, see, Xena remembers. Xena remembers. I used to love those shows. They were like the best shows. They don't have shows like that anymore, right? They don't have shows. So, all right. Hope y'all are doing well. Freestyle Friday with Fernie. God, I don't even know what that would be. I think we already do freestyle for the most part, Xena. No, I think we're already doing like freestyle in the way that we do these readings, right? All right. So, yep. See, let's see remembers as well. All right, so for those of you who are new, to my channel or my lives, I get on here every Wednesday, every Friday, and I get on here and give y'all a chance to ask me whatever questions y'all want to ask me about. We are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, we are on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter. So we're on everything. So starting with TikTok, everybody on TikTok. So Xtina is my moderator on here. Sometimes Cassidy will moderate as well. But for the most part, Xtina will give y'all directions as far as like what to do, how to request a reading, or how to request to be a guest on here, because you can come on video with me and I will do a reading for you, but you have to request it. And so there's a button at the bottom that's a multi-guest button, and she'll put in the instructions, but you can also you can go to the multi button and then you can request to be a video guest, and I will bring on some people as video later in the second half or so of the live. So that's on TikTok. And those of you on TikTok, have patience, because I ain't responding to people within 30 seconds of seeing. I literally don't even watch watch the stream. Like, I'm so bad at that. Guys. So sometimes when I'm saying something or I'm going, like, as soon as I'm in reading mode, I'm literally completely tuned out to everything else. And so I don't pay as much attention to the comments while I'm going through a reading. So y'all can say whatever y'all want. I ain't gonna see it till probably later on when I go back and I review, just because I study how I'm sensing information in the moment, because I know what I was thinking, and I go back and I give myself advice on how I can do it better, or how I can be more accurate. So I actually study my own readings. I know it sounds crazy, but if you're a professional singer or you're a professional dancer, you look at what you're doing and then you try to make it better. That's pretty much what I do with myself as well. So I try to make it better, more accurate, or get more specific, because I'm like, I could have said that differently, or I could have said that in a way where it was a bit more specific. And so I go back and have high attention spans, and so y'all may have to wait a while before I even get to some of your questions, because some of the questions that y'all are typing out now I may not even get to for another 20 or 30 minutes. So y'all just need to be prepared, so that way y'all aren't all freaking out like, well, he just never answers my questions. I go on there every Friday, he never answers my question. It's like he's not even reading it. I'm like, well, maybe you just need to chill the fuck out and just like figure it out yourself, instead of like depending on me for the answer. So that one question, is he thinking about you? Hell no, he ain't thinking about you. I don't even want to think about you in this moment, right? So just FYI. All right, for those of you on Instagram, same thing. You can come on video as well. Just at the bottom, there's like a little plus button or something like that. Click that and that'll give you an opportunity to request to be a video guest as well. For those of you on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter, I call it Twitter, right? Twitter. Y'all are being fed my 2 videos from TikTok and also from Instagram. So y'all will see when I switch over, I'll switch it over and y'all will be able to see me from each of the platforms. If you want to be a video guest, you have to do so either through Instagram or through TikTok. There's no way for me to bring you on through, hey Trevor, there's no way for you to bring me on through like YouTube or through Facebook or Twitter, just because I use a program that basically is like streaming everything to the same platform, and so that's taking the feed from these other two and sending it out to y'all. So, but I can still see y'all comments. I can still see, who's commenting and whatnot. By the way, those of you on there, whether it's on YouTube, on Facebook, or on Twitter, they have a tendency of attracting trolls. So y'all may have trolls that pop in there during the live, and they usually start they usually start with their comments. They usually use beloved, my beloved, or blessed be, or my beloved, or some random thing that sounds crazy. Those are bots. Those are if they aren't bots, they're just scammers trying to pretend to be real people, and they will take your money. So they have nothing to do with me. Don't fall for it, because they will take your money. So just FYI with that. For those of y'all everywhere else, if y'all ever get commented or messaged by anyone, offering y'all a reading and saying I was drawn to you, or would you like me to consider you for a reading? Like, really, consider you for a reading? Like, it's bullshit. But they start off with stuff like that. I don't message people when I'm not on live. So the only two ways to get a reading from me, y'all, for the world, the only two ways to get a readings from me is either to actually go on my website, fernandomarron.com, and book time with me. If you can't afford that, that's what these lives are for. Wednesdays, Fridays, every Wednesday, every Friday. Don't be messaging me in private. Hey, do you do free readings? It ain't rocket science. It's in my bio. I'm on here every Wednesday and Friday. Don't be trying to go around the circle. Don't be trying to go around my gates, my boundaries. So I don't work or do readings except through my private appointments, through e-readings, or through lives. That's it. So no private conversations with readings and none of that. I don't do any of that. So if you ever get a message from anybody offering you a reading or trying to get a donation, that's not me. That's a scammer. Don't fall for it. There's no duplicate pages of me. Okay, what else? Video, you come on Instagram and TikTok for that. Be patient, because I won't be answering every single person's question. There's like 100 or almost 1,000 of you in all of these from time to time. And so I ain't trying to I'm not going to be able to answer everybody's, but I'll try to get through as many of you as I can. Sometimes I can get on a Fernie chatty mode and I start telling a story or whatever. I'm not going to hold back on telling stories, because some of y'all just need to be educated on life lessons, and some of y'all don't have that. I do. So I'm going to give you the damn story. I'm not just going to be answering readings. So get over it. What else? If you're easily offended, I'm not here to offend you or to make you feel horrible about yourself. I'm here to give you advice and to read for y'all and to give y'all the answers. But at the same time, I'm doing it Fernie style, so it's going to come with Fernie sass and Fernie flair. So I may cuss from time to time. I may say something that seems like, oh, you're real to the point. I'm trying to tell you this is how it is. So I don't want you to be surprised or be caught off guard, because I ain't Teresa Caputo. I ain't trying to work on making my hair a celebrity. I don't give a shit. I just I'm here to do the reading. So that's what I'm here for. As usual, so let's get started. So my statements are personal opinions, not guaranteed future events. Whatever decisions or actions you take, you are, of course, 100% responsible and liable for those. You can change your future. It's never set in stone. And I am not a licensed medical doctor, counselor, attorney, or law enforcement official. So for legal medical advice or treatment, please consult a licensed professional. You can always change your future. It is never set in stone. This is not a gift. This is a skill that you develop with dedication and consistent use. You don't just wake up one day and be suddenly psychic, 100% accurate. You have to work at it, and I've been working at it for years. So just FYI. So with psychics, we don't see everything. We don't know everything. We sense things. That's a big difference. A lot of people get that confused because they watch TV, they watch, or they watch some other halfwit on the TikTok saying that they know everything and they're psychic, but they can't say anything. So it doesn't work that way. We don't know everything. We don't see everything. We only sense things. That's a big difference. Whenever I tune into understanding what I need to know, I get my information in three ways. I'm either going to, and most people get it this way as well. All of my students have gotten it this way. So I either see it in a visual or a symbol in my mind that I probably need to interpret. I'm going to feel emotions connected to your experiences now and future. I'm also going to have memories come up, because the easiest way for my brain to help me understand what the hell it's trying to tell me is by giving me an example. So there's a lot of symbolism and meaning and value and memories and all kinds of stuff stored in my brain. My brain will use that and memories to help me understand what's going to be happening for you as well. When I communicate with spirits, it's not that I can see them right in front of me. I don't have a full-bodied apparition right in front of me. I don't see them. I don't hear them. Everything is in my brain. And so thank God for the affirming experiences in my life, because if not, I would have been considered a crazy person, just because I'm having these conversations with things going on in my head. So whenever I communicate with a spirit, what they do is they simply merge with my mind, and they have access. I've given them permission to use me. So they have access to my thoughts, my emotions, my memories. Their job is to get me to understand what they're trying to say. They're not speaking perfect English or perfect They don't actually speak a language. I only know and hear things in English just because it doesn't matter what language they speak. The information is the same way. When I give someone a hug, that's not based on language. That's based on an emotional connection. When someone is going through something, their emotions around it are going to help clue me in. So, but they don't have to speak a language. They don't speak language. They actually speak energy. And energy is not based on a language. I just hear things mostly in English and then some Spanish here and there whenever I want to Spanglish it up. But when they communicate, they are trying to communicate something across to me, and they start to trigger my thoughts, my emotions, and my memories. And so the same mechanisms in my brain that allow me to be psychic also are triggered by them, except I'm not the one trying to ask for information. I'm letting them direct me where they want to go. Sometimes I will ask them questions and stuff like that, but for the most part, I'm just going along for the ride, and I'm just giving them permission to use me. There are some things that I can share by reading comments and trying to connect you with your loved one in spirit. But for the most part, it's really hard to do. That's why a lot of mediums don't do that. They don't like to do mediumship sessions through comments because it's hard to validate and it takes forever to kind of wait for the comment or response. So I would rather have somebody come on video. So if you're willing to come on video, you can come on and ask me to connect with the loved one in spirit. Just request it, okay? And that way there's some things that I can only share via a video because I don't know everything myself. I don't always have the backstory. I just know what they're giving me, but I need somebody to validate or verify that that's correct because I don't know if it's correct. I'm just assuming that what they're telling me is valid. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's all I need to share with you. Yeah, that's it. So let's get started. Okay. Because I'm wasting too much time at this point. So let me start here. And I see all the comments, by the way, those of y'all who are on Facebook and YouTube, I see all those comments as well. So don't think that I'm not, Melody, that was a mouthful. You'd be surprised at how much I have to spit out so fast, especially when I'm doing a reading for someone. Shirley, 790. Shirley, what kind of job will I get soon? I feel like there's a job opportunity that may come up. It may not be soon. I actually think there might be 2 job opportunities that come up for you. There might be one that you might be thinking maybe possible, or you might be thinking about in the next month or month and a half. I'm not thinking that's going to go anywhere. But there's an opportunity that comes up. I want to say later this year, maybe around the August or September timeframe. I want to say it's as late as October, but I want to still start it off at the beginning of the school year because I'm kind of wanting to tie it into a school. But I feel like it has to do with administrative responsibilities or administrative duties that have to do with a school or an educational organization. Okay. Kat, will I start an online business this year and be successful? I don't feel that you will start a business and be successful at it because you may not stick to it. Here's the thing. Some people have the personality. You don't have to get nasty. Calm down. I'm not telling you that you will be a failure for the rest of your life. Don't get it twisted, twister. So no, what I'm saying is I don't think you have the personality to really run a business in the way that you think it would work to be successful. In other words, you got a lot of people going out, a lot of y'all getting y'all's real estate licenses, and like we're in the middle of like it ain't really going too well for the real estate community. Maybe in some places, for most places, it's dry. And I'm so excited I'm gonna make a lot of money. I'm like, girl, you're like 2 years too late. So some people don't have the personality because they don't have they don't have the type of personality it takes to do sales or to be pushy, to promote themselves or to just get themselves out there. And then the strategy of running a business. It's a lot of work. I'm telling you, it's a lot of work. And I don't feel like you have that personality, mama. So that's what I'm telling you. I'm just telling you, I don't think you have the personality. And I feel like if you started it, like after 2 months, if you don't see it blowing up and you being promoted by Kim Kardashian, I feel like you would quit because that's the vibe that I get with you. So if you intend to do so, you need to come up with a strategy that's going to work for you. You need to push through a lot of your self-doubts, and you need to have something as a backup because it ain't going to grow that fast that soon. So if you really want to do that, that's the way to do it. And then you have a better shot at being successful and actually getting it off the ground. Okay. That's just my advice. You can think whatever you want. That's what I'm singing around you. Okay. Susan, will I remarry? 923. Will I remarry? Yes, Mama. I actually think you might have an opportunity for remarriage in about 2.5 years, and it might happen really fast. It wouldn't surprise me if like you meet this individual or you get this going, and then you like start working on a marriage within like months of the engagement or possibly weeks within an engagement. Because I almost feel like it's one of those things where you have an understanding with this person. There's like, it gets spilled out of their mouth. It doesn't even feel like a proper proposal. It's almost like like I'm just talking to this person or whatever, and then they say something like, we should just get married, and you're like, you know what, let's do it, and then y'all go and do it like within a very short period of time, possibly not even doing the whole like wedding thing, and just doing like going to Vegas or going to the courthouse, or maybe something that simple. But I'm seeing it in about 2.5 years from now. Okay. Diana, will I fall pregnant soon? I think you mean, will I be pregnant soon? Fall pregnant? Well, I guess you can see it that way. Say it that way. Will you get pregnant soon? No. I'm thinking it's going to take you about 17 months. So 17 months from now. So the rest of this year, I guess that's like 7 months, maybe 8 months, and then next year. So I want to say maybe not till the beginning of 2024. Okay. Alex, will Laquan and I have a romantic relationship again? I would say actually yes, but I don't feel confident about it, and I kind of don't want you to set yourself up for success with it. The reason why is because the way I'm thinking about this is, so I'm immediately reminded of my situation that happened with my ex, where we were together for about 4 years, and then what ended up happening is that we broke up, and then we spent some months apart, about almost like 8 months apart, and then he was interested in trying again, and we started talking as friends, right? Talking as friends with your exes is not a good idea, y'all, because that'll like open up that whole thing. It's like open up a dirty diaper. It's like I threw that diaper away, and I just went into the garbage can, picked it up, opened it up. Oh shit, there's like shit still here. Well, yeah, because there was never not shit in that diaper. So you just opened up a pile of shit again. With this relationship with this person, it felt like that. I feel like, you know, we got back together, and I gave them a chance. I moved my shit back into that apartment, and then like within a month or month and a half, they were like, but I missed the other guy I was dating too. And I'm like, really, seriously? Like, we were together for 4 years. You literally got me to rework my entire life just to kind of make this work for you, and now you're trying to play this BS. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling. So I want to say be careful, because I feel like this person might make you go through this song and dance and make you think that it is possible again, and they may try again, but then they drop you. So just be careful, because I feel like I'm not feeling confident about it being a successful reconnect. Man, a lot of y'all are trying to start an online business. Christy, will they allow me to do house arrest or rehab when I'm sentenced, please? I feel like a portion of it, yes. Not all of it, though. You're going to still have to report, I believe, to a facility. So I still see you having to spend some time in a facility, but I do feel like part of it can be done out of a facility and in home arrest, or in a center, okay? But not all of it. It may actually turn out to be a requirement with the rehab. Sashinquist? I don't know if I said that correctly, Mama, so please excuse my ignorance. Sashinquist. I can't sound it out. 89. Am I buying a house next year without issues? I'm gonna say I don't see you buying one next year. I'm gonna say I don't see you buying one next year. I'm gonna say it's gonna probably not happen until April or May of 2024. So it may not happen next year. Also, there are still issues, but it's not a big deal. I think it actually has to do with the outside of the house. So like the driveway, or the way that the gate is lining up with the frame, that may be an issue, or whatever it is that's like opening or closing or allowing for the vehicle to pull in. Like something there doesn't seem to be operating the way it's supposed to. It could also be the garage door, but I'm thinking if it's like a gate or something like that. But it feels like it's got something to do with that. Okay, but that's not a big deal. Like I bought my first house, my last house. I bought it without an automatic gate opener, so I had to get out, like open that damn. iron gate like every single time, close it, and then we didn't have a driveway, so it was just mud. I mean, luckily I have a truck, so I was easy to drive through that, but it was just a mess. At the time I got the house, I didn't have a truck, I had a hybrid. But what ended up happening was I just paid for a driveway to be built, and we built it custom to match the house because the house was like 100 years old, so we wanted to match it to the original driveways where it was just like 2 strips with a little grass in the middle. So and it worked out pretty well. And I got a gate opener. Oh my god, that was like heaven when I finally got that damn gate opener. Look, click, oh my god, it's opening by itself. Look how rich I am. I was so excited. The things that we appreciate in life. By the way, guys, be specific with your questions, because those of you who are just jealous, those of you who are just general, I don't know what you're asking me, and I'm not going to waste my time trying to figure it out. So y'all need to be specific with your questions. So if you're saying, what do you see? I want a reading. I want a life reading. I want a love reading. How do you feel about my finances? That's all general crap. I don't have time for that. You need to be specific, or you've wasted your time and you've wasted the opportunity for me to see your question. So make sure you're specific. Michelle, was someone new be coming into my life? Michelle Sutton. Yeah, I want to say it's around September of next year. So September of next year, someone might come back into your life that you already met, or you would have already had a chance to connect with. So this might be like a reconnect, but it doesn't feel like an ex. Every time I say that to people, they freak out, because every time I say you might reconnect with someone that you knew before, automatically they think I'm talking about like an ex. No. I'm like, why would you think it's an ex? Like, why does it have to be an ex? This is just someone that you already knew before. So I want to say you just reconnect with somebody about September of next year. And the connection might have to do with a financial organization or a bank, because I keep thinking of the inside of a bank. Okay. Good question, because you just gave me an opportunity to dig into a topic here. Emily, what do my guides think about my relationship? Thank you so much. So our guides don't give a shit about our relationships. They don't care. It's not their job to have an opinion about our relationships. In other words, here's how it works, because people give their spirit guides way too much credit and too much. People really have trouble making decisions for themselves. People will come to me for mediumship sessions and they'll ask like, hey, ask my mom what I should do about that. I'm like, it's not your mom's responsibility, and it's not her place. And plus she's done with this life. She's done with being responsible for you. You need to make your own decisions. So same thing with guides. Guides are not responsible for for telling us what to do. They're responsible for keeping us in alignment with the path we're supposed to take. Before we came in other words, if someone goes to college and they meet with a guidance counselor, and the guidance counselor says, okay, these are the classes that you need to take to achieve this degree or this goal. Then we're like, okay, cool. And then we start taking those things. It's like going to your guidance counselor saying, ask my guidance counselor what they think about my relationship with my professor. It's like, what the hell does that have to do with them? Like, their job is not to care about the relationship with your professor. Their job is like, okay, you decided to sign up for that class with that professor, so let me help you use it to your advantage. So our job is to help us use whatever situations we find ourselves in to our advantage. So if we are on the road from Houston to LA, and it's our plan to go from Houston to LA, our guide's job is just to help us make the most out of that experience and to get out of it what we had initially set up for. And so if we, like dumbasses that we are, sometimes we get off the road, well, I don't think this is the right way. I'm going to go down this way because there's a new bridge and whatever. So, and then you go down an alternate path. The guide's not going to say, stop, don't go down that route. You need to go back to the way you can. It's not their job. They're not allowed to tell us what to do. We have free will. Their job is just to help us understand the consequences of that path. And then we have to come to the realization of whether we need to, if we want to stick with that and accept the accountability for that, or we want to go in a different direction. So their job is just to give us options and help us to utilize whatever comes our way. We can still get to LA through that route. It just might be a bumpier route, or we might run into some crazy fools along the way. So, but we'll work through it, and they will help us get the most out of that situation. And so in our lives, there's a lot of things we're supposed to experience. Experience is the key word, not achievements or goals. There's things we're supposed to experience. There's 1,000 different ways to experience something that we're needing to experience. It's their job to help us get the experience out of it and to understand and realize some things from that. Not our job. It's not their job to tell us what to do or how they feel about our relationship. They could give a damn about our relationships, because they're not here in the physical world, and they see all the pieces of the puzzle, not just the piece that we are stuck on because we're in physical form. So that's that. Thank you for the question, by the way, because it gave me an opportunity to express that, because a lot of people are way too caught up in what their guides think they should be doing, or no, that doesn't work that way. Yeah, Matan7777. How are you able to get names when you read? I can't. It's a good question. So it really just depends on how far you're willing to push your intuition and push it. The best psychics are the ones that push themselves, but they also look more like fools more often than the people who don't even take the risk, just because it's part of the game. It's part of the process of being psychic and doing it in a public way. Whenever you're going to open your mouth and express what's coming through, there's zero guarantee that it's going to be correct 100%. So you don't have anything that's going to assure you or guarantee that you're going to do a good job. You just have to have faith and push yourself as much as you can. And so that's why I've built myself up to the level that I am at now. And even then, still not 100%. I've never even claimed to be 100% accurate, but I'm pretty damn good, and I have a really good track record publicly as well as privately with clients. And so the reason why I am able to get names, not always, sometimes I'm not getting the right name, is because I pushed myself to get a name. Because when I was a teenager and I used to look on TV and I used to see people like Sylvia Brown on the Montel show, and she would be spitting out names like nobody's business. And it was like, not only first names, but last names, like, oh, his name is Cameron Anderson or something like that. And it turned out to be correct. And I was just like, how the hell did she get that? And so just by believing that someone can do that, automatically, I believe that I can do it too, because it's just an example of what we're capable of. And so if anything, don't think I'm special than you or more special than you, or I have something that you don't. You can do exactly what I can do, except you just have to put the hard work and bust your ass to do it. That's all you got to do. But with names, I just make myself available to going with whatever pops into my head first. Most of the time, it's a sound of a name, not necessarily the name itself. And so I have to figure out what that means. I could care less about getting the name exactly correct, as long as I get the message across and I tie it into a name. That's really what matters to me. I don't need to get the exact letters and names and everything like that. So if I'm connecting with a spirit and they give me the name of Shirley, the name may not be Shirley. The name may actually be Cheryl or Sherilyn or Shelby or Shelly, but they gave me enough to get me there. There are psychics or mediums that are able to get more specific names, but that's because they have more of a connection with names. There's a medium, I think, in the UK who could give you the person's first name and last name and home address. That's how good they were a medium when it came to doing readings for spirits. And the reason why is because they used to be a postal worker. So they had enough experience processing and thinking that way on a regular basis that for them it was pretty easy for spirit to trigger that. For me, I don't remember people's names to begin with. I actually have an issue with remembering people's names in real life, and so I always used to say, hey you. Sometimes you'll see me say, hey beautiful, hey sunshine, because I would forget people's names all the time. So it just became a habit, and I call people something positive because that's the only way that I can kind of make it more personal and bring them in, because I do want to have that personal connection with them. But I still force myself to try to get a name and try to understand how it's going to connect to the person. So, but the more you practice and the more you push yourself, you'll get there. But it just takes a lot of practice. Diana, will I get promoted anytime soon at my job? You can if you asked. I feel like you need to ask. And I don't mean like, hey, when do you think I can get a raise. That's not asking for promotion. Hey, I think I'm ready for more. I want more responsibility. Can you give me an opportunity to show you what I can do? That's asking for a raise. And that's asking for a promotion. If you did that, I do feel like you could get a promotion within 2 months. That's what I feel. But if you just want to wait because you're too scared or you're too lazy, then you might have to wait another 2 years. So I would ask, because I feel like you can get there faster. When I was a store manager at Starbucks, people, they would be like, like, Fernie doesn't promote anybody. I'm like, anybody asking me to promote them? It's like, I don't need to promote anybody. I'm not trying to invest in somebody's future within the company, because most people are just there because they're just trying to get through school or get through whatever. And so when they would say, hey, I wanted to promote, I'm like, well, you never said nothing to me. Now that I know, this is the expectation. This is what I'm going to expect from you. And this is what you need to show me. And then we can work towards it. And it might take about 3 or 4 months, but I'll get you there if you trust the process. And so for them, it didn't happen because they never asked. They never asked. Brandy, should I keep working on family relationships? You weren't specifying what family member, but what I will say is this, general feeling over the situation. I feel like you're going to take a good 2 or 3 month break, and then you may start to reconnect or kind of push a little bit closer to one of the family members, but you may still kind of remain a bit detached or disconnected from other people in the family. Okay. So it's up to you. You have to decide if that's something you want to do or not. Okay. Let me go over here to that's something you want to do or not. Okay. Let me go over here to Instagram. Because Instagram, I normally go Instagram first, but I didn't want to my TikTokers to feel like I don't love them. I do love my TikTokers. Shannon, when will I meet my boyfriend's parents? Give it about 2 to 3 months. So it might take about 2 to 3 months. Also, if you miss that opportunity, that may twist things in a weird way and you might struggle more in the relationship. So just FYI. Just FYI. Yeah, Ollie. Hey, Fernie, do you see me getting accepted into any of the schools I applied for today? Thank you so much. Yeah, I actually think you'll get 2 of them. So you'll get 2. I want to say the top one is the one that I think you'll get the top one. And then I want to say the third on your list. Vanessa, will I find real genuine love this year? Are you capable of giving real genuine love? What I mean by that, because I know you're always like, of course I can give. You're already like countering what I just asked you, but I know that you're afraid of being hurt. I know you want someone to show you and to make it okay to trust them. I know that you want someone to make it a safe space so that you can express real love or authentic love. And drop the bullshit, because you need to give what you want from this universe. Do not ask God for something you're not willing to put out first. Do not ask the universe to put out something that you're not willing to give out first. My motto, the way that it's worked for me, that I've been able to work this out is, you know what? I'm going to offer love. I'm going to offer my most authentic, genuine self. And if the person doesn't want me, that's their loss. I'm not going to worry about it. But I want to give someone a real experience of who I am, because that is what I want. That is what I want. And sometimes I do it in ways where I'm financially offering people or giving people opportunities financially. And people are like, why are you giving them money? Or why are you doing this? And I'm like, because I need to see who they are. Like, you're not going to get to see who someone is unless you actually put them in a situation where they have no choice but to show you their true colors. And if you give a untrustworthy person $500 with the agreement that they're going to pay you back within a week's time, and they don't do it, you automatically know who that person is. I have a friend who I spent a year, before I started my business, I spent a year working and doing my full-time job at Starbucks and then doing my clientele business on the side. And I was tired. I was exhausted, but I saved enough money so that if I quit my job at Starbucks, then that money in my savings would help me get through the year if I, for some reason, had no clients or no business. And so I had saved that, and it took me a year to get there. And I just happened to, when I met my goal, I even had a friend, and he was like, hey, and I was like, hey, and I was like, law of attraction, because we were big law of attraction people. And I was like, yeah, I've been working on this for a whole year. I've spent the entire year saving up money so that I have that as a backup in case something goes wrong. And I go and I start doing my business full time. So I've got $10,000 or $13,000 in my bank account as a backup or a buffer. And he was like, that's so good. I'm so proud of you. Yada, yada, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Next day, hey, so I got this legal issue going on, and I'm trying to figure it out. And I wouldn't normally ask. I don't ever feel comfortable asking, but I was going to ask if you could loan me the money to be able to get this resolved, and I will pay you back. And I was like, okay, well, how much are you asking about? $13,000, like the exact same amount of money that I had said I had. And I was like, well, I'm gonna have to think about it, and I'll let you know, but I'm gonna have to think about it. That was the end of our friendship, because I was like, oh, you just showed me who you were. You just totally showed me who you were. So you have to give people a chance to screw you over so you can see who they are, because you're not going to be able to see you might get lucky and end up with somebody who's not an ass, and they're actually going to be really great for you. But you have to take the risk. There is no riskless love opportunities in this world. And so you're here already, just the way you worded your sentence. Will I find real genuine love this year? Automatically, if I were just a friend in your life and I say, hey girl, how do you feel about love? The first thing you're going to do is immediately think about your ex, or a past experience where you're brokenhearted, or a past experience where you're disappointed. So that's your state of being. Your state of being is the first thing that pops up in your head when the word love comes into it. Not, oh, there's opportunity to connect with someone and have an experience to share intimacy and bond. No, it's going to be this bullshit that you went through. And so that's where your energy is at. You got to clear that up. You got to let that go, because it's affecting your ability to connect with people, and you're putting up walls and you're not letting people in. You don't have to agree with me. The people around you who see this are going to agree with me. So you need to be aware about that, and then drop your guard and just take the risk. It's worth the risk. It really is worth the risk, because if you get screwed, you're just going to get tougher from it. But if you don't get screwed, you get to see who person really is, and then you can actually form a better bond or a better connection with them. But to answer your question, because I know you didn't ask me for a Jana Van Zant session, you need to work on it. But I do see you trying to reconnect with an ex. And I don't think that's going to work, because you might just get hopeless, and then you might get desperate. Don't get desperate. It's not worth it. Give it about 2.5 years. I feel like it's going to take you 2.5 years to end up in another relationship. The person's name starts with a C, C-O, like a Corey. I keep thinking of a person I used to work with, Corey. It might be a K, but I want to say it's a C. Princess Lime Tree. Hey, Fernie, do you see how many children I will have? I'm seeing the number 2. If you already have 2, then I would say that's it. If you only have 1, then I would say you're going to have another one. If you got 3 or 4, then I would say, then at that point, I would say you're going to have 2 more, because you've already passed that 2 amount. So I'm thinking the number that I would be seeing as actually how many more you're going to have. Okay. But I'm seeing the number 2 in my head. So that's how I'm applying it to your life. Dr. Alicia, sorry. Snap. I don't know why I want to snap with you. Snap. Will I leave my pharmacy career? Yeah. There's an opportunity that's going to come up. I want to say around October. I feel like the role would have to do with education, or in an educational setting, because I keep wanting to call you the director of project placement, project planning, or project integration, and it has to do with like either education or with a speciality. It might even have to do with what you are in now, but it's a bit different. So there's something there that I'm seeing for you. But I don't feel like you would have to be doing hands-on work. I actually feel like the work you're going to be doing is actually more presentational, because I keep seeing you all dolled up, all pretty, and then giving presentations or having to do meetings. And so I see more presentational type of interaction. It's almost like whenever you're dealing with like a planner for a wedding, sometimes they have to like look the part. Like that's how I want to describe it. It's like you're having to look this part and you have to present yourself in a certain way. Okay. Oh, thank you for that, Penny. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hmm. Okay. Ray 98. Hey, Franny, do you see me in a relationship soon? No. You might try to talk to somebody, and it almost feels like you're just settling around July, but I don't think it's a relationship. Um, so because I was thinking of the month of August, but I want to say it's Augustine or Augusta sounding name that may come up, and that's not till the end of next year, December of next year, 2023. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that. Selena Maria. Hi, love. Do you see my situation getting better? We broke a lease to a house we didn't take possession of. Scared they will take us to court or we will owe a lot. Will everything turn out? Yeah, I feel like it'll be okay. I actually think that this is what the deposit might be for if something happens. And because I almost feel like in some places, I don't know enough about real estate or the matters of real estate. We got realtors here. For those of y'all who know the law, y'all might want to give her some advice. But my thinking is that any deposit that y'all may not be getting any deposit back if y'all put down a deposit. I also feel like there might be something built in to where within a certain amount of time after a lease is signed, there's a time frame for you to be able to pull out, and it's almost by law. So I want to say there's something like that on the books. Okay, but I'm not thinking that it's going to be a big deal, and I don't feel like it's going to be like this like long draw. There's no money in it for them. There's like literally no money in it for them. So I feel like they can just literally take the deposit or deal like get the deposit as being a part of the equation, and that's it. And that's a gain, because if you even take possession of the house and there was this whole song and dance around it, that's a win-win for them, you know. So why pay money for an attorney? Why pay for legal fees? It makes no sense. So I don't think you're gonna have to deal with all that. Yeah. Patty asked 2007. Do you see me in a classroom teaching or something else anytime soon? I do see you in a classroom, but I see you in different types of classrooms. I do think one classroom is more oriented to kids or to children. I want to say this is within, because I feel like you're going to do it first, but it doesn't feel like it's your official title. And then I feel like you'll do it again, but it feels like more like an official title. So I want to say you might work as a assistant to the main person in the classroom, or just kind of working in an administrative capacity. But then I feel like a year and a half or 2 years after that, then there's more actual like official title that comes into the scene. But I also feel that in about 9 or 10 years from now, you might be working with older people or senior citizens or people who are going through like a therapy process, or they're needing to have that interaction and engagement, and it's through like a program of some sort. Okay, where they've like, you know, like people like my mom, where my mom, she's like literally just sits and watches TV all day. I'm like, girl, you need to get your ass and go do something, because you're gonna die in that chair, mom. So you got, it'll be like people who need the interaction or the engagement mentally. Okay, at some point. Oh, it's time to bring somebody on. Let's bring somebody on. Well, let me get over to over here, because I don't want to forget about these peeps over here, because they'll get on me. They're like, Franny's just an ass. He's just a dirty, dirty bitch. Um, Teresa Corona. Hi, Fernie. Do you see me going to Mississippi and it working out? Yeah, it actually. I want to say you might be going to Mississippi in about 2 months, so it might take a couple months. I'm not thinking you're going to stay there though, because I kind of feel like you're either moving again after a year, or something's not working out, and you're leaving within that first year or at that year mark. So you might need to be prepared for that. You can always, this is why I tell people you can always change your future, because if you know something might come up, then you can work around it. And there might be something coming up like 5 or 6 months into the move. Okay, after the move. Um, Another question, good question. Denise, I know you are the real deal, babe, but why does my family never come through? Not just with you. I have been to several mediums and nothing. Have you come to me for a session though? Because you're asking through the lives. And if you're saying my family's just, I'm not special enough for them to be loud over everybody else's family, like that's not a reason for the, that's not what you're saying. That's not like, oh, they're not visiting you or they don't want to have anything to do with you. That has nothing to do with that. What happens sometimes, I will say this from personal experience with people who are in a state of desperation and in a state of complete despair and are completely like sucked into their own pain, that is like a perfect go the other way sign for energy with spirit. And so that doesn't mean your family isn't trying to communicate or come through. That just means that your energy is out of zone for someone like myself to be able to make a good connection for you, or to be able to even see your energy, because it's in a lower spectrum because of your own personal struggle or pain. That's why. So that happens sometimes. I'm not saying that that's the case in this situation. I'm just saying that happens sometimes, and that acts like a block for people in spirit. But at the same time, you can't group all mediums together, because I've had people come to me who said that medium so and so never came through or could never come through. I don't know. I don't have a question. I don't have a response, because I ain't those mediums. I don't know what was going on. I didn't see the session. I don't know what was happening there. Oftentimes also people do come through. People completely miss the signs or completely miss the information that came through, and they don't understand fully. And then there are people who come to me who says a medium they've never been able to come through, but they've come through with me. So it just depends on the medium, honestly. But I'm like choking on my spit. But it's in your instance, I actually think it has more to do with just the mediums are going to, and being able to, and for them to be able to communicate or to connect properly. This is why I told myself years ago, because I went to go see this medium. She's legit, but I see this over and over again with mediums. These open forums where someone's walking in a crowd, they're drawing to I don't like doing that. I don't prefer that. I feel like it's a big fat waste of time. I also feel like people who don't, if you come to me, who do you see around me? And I start to describe something to you and you're not catching the connections, you're going to assume that nobody came through. What I saw happening is I saw her spending, it was a 2-hour live thing, this Molly Morningstar. And it was at a hotel, and literally she spent like an hour and 45 minutes trying to figure out who was coming through for that person. And she was lost most of the time, and the people were lost most of the time. And so towards the end, she got someone on the line and was able to confirm it. And I was just like, that was a big fat waste of time with getting messages across to people. Why didn't she? And so I promised I would never do that, because I don't like it. I just don't like it. So what I do instead is I just say, who do you want to talk to? And you're like, oh, I want to talk to Bob. Okay, you want to talk to Bob. My intention is that the person I'm going to be talking to is Bob. And everything that starts to come through should relate to Bob. And so as soon as we do that, 95% of the time, that's exactly what happens with my personal readings. Those people are coming through first, or they're the ones coming through. What happens is when I open it up to others, at that point we start playing the who could this be game, and then it becomes a very time-consuming process. It's a waste of time, and you could have gotten a message from Bob, assuming that it was Bob. If it ain't Bob, the information I tell you ain't gonna be about Bob. It's gonna be about somebody else. And we will be, okay, this isn't Bob. Let's put this to the side for a second. This is somebody else I need to get out of the way first. And then I will start to describe that. But usually when you intend to connect to a specific person and you have that already built in, the information should match up. You shouldn't have to force it to fit. It should start to click into place. And so that's why I don't like doing it the way that a lot of mediums do it. I'm just going to like do panels and go through the audio. I don't do it that way. Like, who do you want to talk to? Okay, Sherry, let me get Sherry on the line. I'm assuming I'm talking to Sherry. This is what I'm getting. That's correct. That's correct. Then this is Sherry. There you go. Next, because we can get through more stuff faster. So that's why I do it that way, darling. If you can get over to, Denise, if you get over to Instagram or to TikTok, I'll try to see if I can find you, and then I'll try to get you on the line so we can do a video. Elizabeth Nelson, when will I meet my future husband? I actually think you will meet someone. I'm seeing 9 months, so you might meet somebody. You might actually be getting married in 9 months. That's real fast. So either this person's going to pop up and you might marry within, you're one of them crazy people that be like, hey, I feel a connection with you. So I'm not going to wait 3 months to see who you really are, because after 3 months, people's, face cracks. So I'm just going to marry you now because I'm really in love with this relationship. So, and then, then you get into a situation where you're like, I should have really thought this through. I feel like 9 months. So give it about 9 months and you might either actually be meeting that person at that time or possibly getting married. But I'm seeing kind of marriage in 9 months, which is really fast for someone if you haven't already met the person. So it might be going really fast. Okay. L is the connection to the name. L, like L-U or L-U or L-O. Okay. Annie, when will I find my life partner? Same thing as the other lady. You gotta learn to be more receptive and to rework your idea about love and relationships, because I feel like you're operating from a deficit of love in your life, or for a deficit of love for yourself. And even though you might try to be healthy or try to do more for yourself and whatnot, and think you're making good decisions when it comes to romance, I don't think you are, and I disagree with you. So I feel like you got to work on that, and I think that can shift things in your favor, because if not, you might have to wait a lot longer than you expect. I hate it when I have to tell people like, I ain't really seeing that in your future. That doesn't mean you will never have it. It just means I ain't seeing it. And that may mean that you just have to work on some things. What I'll say is I do think for you, I am seeing something, but don't freak out. I wasn't trying to say that about you. 5 years. It might take about 5 years. PA is a name, or P sounds like Pam or Palm sounding name. It's got a PA sounding name to it. There's a really good book that I'm going to recommend to you. It's called The Soulmate Secret by Ariel Ford. And that'll help you to kind of like rework some of your energy and maybe get a little more focused on trying to bring somebody in, because you got to let your guard down a little bit and be more vulnerable. Okay. All right. Now let's bring somebody on, because I did enough there. So, no? Okay. Nobody's coming on. So let's try somebody else. Let's see. I tried. Jecka Perez. I invited you. I'm waiting for you to jump out here. So I guess not. All right. So let me go with somebody else then. Let's see. I'll try you again in a little bit, because I'll come looking for you. No? Are we not connecting today? Okay. All right. I'm 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So nothing there. By the way, guys, if I'm selecting y'all for video chat, y'all need to be aware that but I'm doing it. Let's go to D Lopez. Let's try D Lopez. Oh no, that's not even. She didn't even request it. I'm like looking at the people who are just watching me. I want to see if she's in this list here. No, I don't see her in this list. That's okay. Let's go. Here. Oh, declined. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let me keep trying somebody. People on Jig Jack. I'm gonna say Jig Jack on TikTok. Where did I get Jig Jack from? TikToks. We're like, what the hell, Ferdy? Like, come over here. Like, we'll take it. We'll take it. Okay, let's go, Brianna. Let's see. Mo is proud of you, doctor. Hello.
Hi.
I got somebody finally. I was like, I already tried 3 people, and like it wouldn't go through the first time, wouldn't go through the second time, third time I got rejected. So I was like, okay, whatever. How you doing, baby?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. What do you want to ask me about? Before you tell me anything, a couple things. If you start to feel any murmuring or weird like palpitations with your heart, you probably need to go to the doctor because I think that's something you were actually born with. But as you're getting older, it might become more aggravated. And I also think that blood sugar might be also adding to that complication. So you start to feel any weird heart stuff, go to the doctor and see if they need to give you anything for that.
Okay. Yeah, I have been actually. That's what.
Yeah. I don't think it's that serious, but you should let a doctor figure it out because I do think it's something you need to address.
Okay.
All right, Mama. What do you want to ask me about?
Well, am I currently pregnant or will I be soon? I'm like going through
not till February.
Okay.
Because I'm seeing baby energy around February. Now I could be, when I see baby energy, it's because someone's pregnant, someone's celebrating their baby shower, or someone's having a baby. It's possible you can get pregnant before February and actually having the baby in February, but I'm seeing baby energy around February. So I'm gonna say it's probably not till February.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah. You're welcome, darling. All right, Mama. Well, you take care of yourself.
Bye.
Bye, sweetheart. All right. Let's see. Going to the next one. Hello.
Hi, Fernie.
How you doing, sweetheart?
Doing well. Just here working, but listening to you.
Awesome. You need a mouth guard because you might be grinding at night.
Oh.
Yes, do you already have one and you don't wear it?
I have bought in some, but I used them years ago, and I just
You need to be wearing these. You're gonna mess up your teeth. Yeah, you're gonna mess it because you get anxious and you start doing that. And I broke 4 crowns in 1 year. Because I grind real bad. And so 1 year I had 4 crowns put in, and one of the crowns I broke 3 times in that year. And I mean, you know those dreams where you wake up where you're like, you feel like you got teeth. I literally had woken up with broken teeth in my mouth. I was freaking out. So yeah, but you probably you wear it because you're gonna mess up your teeth.
Okay, I will wear them for sure.
What do you want to ask me about?
I am really conflicted in my career right now, and just like deciding where I want to take it.
Yeah, I kind of don't feel, because I keep seeing Boston or the Philadelphia, like I want to go up in that area. Where are you at, or where do you live at?
I'm in California.
Okay, I don't see you staying in California. What I think is going to happen is I think that there's going to be an opportunity that comes up, either to be able to do it's almost like you're going to have to analyze or assess either data or situations and then make recommendations. You're not the one making the changes, but you're kind of making recommendations to an entity, organization, or to the authority figure that would make the determination about what needs to happen next. And I also feel like it's almost like going over things and auditing or making sure that it's actually the way it's supposed to be and not necessarily different than that. What kind of work are you doing right now? What's the job you have right now?
I'm actually doing auditing, and that's the one that I'm it's public accounting, and it's really, really tough, and just I don't see a lot of my passion here.
Yeah, I think a part of it is the environment. I kind of feel like the environment's not very stimulating for you, but I also feel like what you're doing isn't really making a difference. And I think there's a part of you that's dying to make a difference in the world. The next company you go into, I think either has to do with systems set up for students and resources or with nonprofits and resources.
Okay. Yes.
So it's almost like if there was an organization, they get a lot of funding, but they have to select what people to fund or what programs to fund because there's so much money. It's almost like you making the recommendations based on the numbers and all the things that you have to assess within meeting the standards or the expectations for that organization for that year.
Got it. Okay. Got it. And you said that was like in Boston, that area?
I think that might come up by September. So I'm thinking that's going to come up by September because I think someone you know or that may meet through the grapevine is going to kind of click you in with that opportunity. And then I think that by September, this is already in the picture and then you move or relocate.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. And then also I was wondering if you see me buying a house for my parents in the future.
Oh, for your parents? Yeah, in about 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, because you'll buy property in about 4.5 years because you're doing well enough that you can do it at that time. And then I want to say 3 years later, you end up buying. You're going to do it in a kind of tricky way. You're going to purchase it because in order for it not to conflict with and to be able to get approved for it, it's like you actually purchase it under your name as an investment property as a business, and then you actually rent it out to them on paper, but you're not technically having them pay for it. So you go about it in a really funny way. Yeah, it's still, I mean, it's legal. I mean, as long as it's on paper and it's, I'm assuming it's legal. But yeah, it's something like that. And I feel like that'll work out. And ultimately, it's their house. It'll be their house.
Okay. Okay, awesome. And I'm also wondering, do you post these recordings online?
I do. I'm slow to do it. So what happens is after I do the lives, because people want to go back and watch what happened, or they want to remember. This is why I record all my private sessions, because people, they like to remember things differently than what I said. And they're like, you said blah, blah. And I was like, I like how you forgot. That's not what I said. And this is what I actually said. So you need to go back and listen to your recording, darling. So what happens is, after I do these, I actually upload them and I send them over to my partner. He has to go in and clip out all of the readings, and then I basically post them on YouTube, so they'll be on YouTube. Okay. Or I will make small versions of them to post to like TikTok. The problem is I'm really slow at getting that done because I've got literally in my because I get so busy with everything in my Google Drive, I literally have I want to say 50 or 100 of them sitting there waiting for me to review and then to actually make the smaller ones. And so I used to have a person that did it for me, but I was trying to save money, so I cut it. Yeah. So, but I try to get them up. So I'll try to get it up sooner rather than later. Okay. But there's a bunch that I still have waiting for me to go back and snip.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I usually forget things, and that's.
But yeah, but if you go to YouTube, because YouTube, it's already being on YouTube. If you go to my videos and it'll show you all of the lives, so you can just go and watch the original video. Same with Facebook. Facebook has all of the original video on there on my Facebook, so you can find the original video. You don't have to wait for me to clip it.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Fernie.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Take care. Bye-bye. Because I got my death threats. I'm getting my death threats. Let's see. Okay, I'm here, guys. I'm here. Take me, please. No. I'm gay, sweetheart. I'm a homosexual, so I don't know how that's gonna work. Let's see. Okay, so we've got a few on here. Let's go to.
Shit, I'm sorry.
That's okay. These videos make my skin look crazy and blotchy, and my skin's really smooth, so I'm like, well, whatever.
Oh, you're beautiful.
I don't have time. Yeah. What do you want to ask about?
I just wanted to know if our financial situation will get any better, because I'm a stay-at-home mom of 4. My husband's the only income, so I was just wondering if that's gonna, times are tough. Right?
You might want to think about tying your tubes already, because there might be another one.
Oh yeah, I had all C-sections and I got those burnt right away. So Perfect. After the last one.
Good, because I'm like, you're real fertile. You're real fertile. Actually, no, I'm still seeing another child. So if are they already tied? Or you said they're tied up?
Yeah, I in 2018 I had my last cesarean, and then I got like the tubes done. So.
Okay, FYI.
Unless they're growing back, Jesus.
Well, I know of some clients that had their tubes tied and they still got pregnant. I am seeing another child. I'm just trying to figure out if it's actually through natural means or if this is someone's child you take over and you take on because you feel the need to. I'm almost thinking it is another person's child because I'm seeing the episode of Roseanne where David came to live with them and Darlene's boyfriend. He was Darlene's boyfriend. So I'm seeing that. So I'm thinking it's another person's child. So it might be one of your kids bringing in somebody from the outside, and it's going to become your next child. Coming back to your finances. So there's a couple of things with this. One is I do think it's going to take 2.5 years for you to feel better about your finances, just because I feel like at that time there's actually 2 sources of income. So I'm assuming that the stay-at-home role is probably going to change, and either you're going to go into a working mode, but you'll still be doing it from home. So you're not going to have to go out into the world. You can still do it from home. I also think that it has to do with the legal system or court system. So there might be something you'll be able to do from home that's got to do with like a legal thing that you'll do. And it's almost like a 4 to 6 month class that you'll do online, and you get it, and then you can just do this when your time permits. So I feel like just something like that. 2.5 years.
That makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Your husband or your significant other, are y'all legally married yet?
Yeah, we're married. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Just making sure. Because I was gonna say, I'm definitely seeing y'all as I'm assuming y'all were married. There's a thing that's gonna come up probably a year from now. I want to say this is maybe early, it might even be less than a year. I want to say this is February, March of next year. This is through someone he knows that knows of an opportunity, but it might be some very special skill or something that he's going to have to learn that he may not fully know. Like it almost reminds me of whenever I've heard people and they're like, oh yeah, my husband went and he went to trucking school. Or my husband went and he learned how to whale. It's like a very specific type of skill, but it's through a friend that gets him into it. He ends up making a killing with this new job or new opportunity. So I want to say it's something like that.
That might be the general manager for a sales company. Him and the owner are really close, which is his boss. And they were talking about opening another building, like running a whole office, and he's supposed to like run it.
Right. So but he would not be a general manager. He would have to be like
he'll be something.
It feels like I feel, because would this be a production line inside the building?
Kinda, yeah.
Because it's almost like things have to be sorted through, or things have to be kind of coordinated in certain areas of it.
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's a system that will connect the entire thing, and he would have to learn this system, but it would require a constant like upkeep. It's almost like when you think of like IT people, like they have to go in the system and look at, there's stuff that he would have to learn and get a very specific skill for that would add on to an additional money-making opportunity for him. Okay. It's almost like, and there's a lot of, I'm seeing parts. What's the company he works for now?
It's a telemarketing company. They sell SEO, search engine optimizations online.
Okay, so what I think what this would actually be, it's not just, this isn't just selling. This is more like service based. So this is not just selling, this is service based. And the systems have to be coordinated, because it's almost like there's different areas that have to be coordinated with, because it's almost like, that's what it is. It's you know, those inside of those buildings where you have all those hard drives and there's like rows and rows and rows of hard drives. And
I got you, yeah.
It's like a data storage bank or something like that. And he would have to learn the system to be able to manage it or maintain the thing. But it's something like that. And it's service based, not sales.
Okay.
Makes sense. Hey, dude, we should get into like Bitcoin mining. It's like it's got that whole ideology behind it.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and this comes up like around like I said, early next year, maybe February or March.
Perfect.
There'll be a third one, by the way. If it's this boss, there will be another person that may be tied to this.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Fernie.
You're welcome, sweetheart. All right, darling. Will you take care of yourself?
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
Welcome, sweetheart. All right, going to another person. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, darling. You might need to turn on your camera because I can't see you.
Okay, hold on. I'm trying. How do I do that?
It's the multi-guest. I think it's like multi-guest button at the bottom, I think.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Why can't I? Wait, why can't I? Okay, I got it.
Mm.
Got it.
There she
Hi.
is. There she is. She's here. She's here. Okay, go ahead. How you doing, Mama?
First of all, you be having me dying laughing. Like,
Oh,
I'll
that's
be
good.
cracking up watching your videos. Like when you on live, I'll be cracking up.
Oh, that's good.
But
I'm glad. I'm glad.
no, you're really
Hate to-
funny. You should
Yeah.
do stand up. You should consider it.
Yeah. You know, when I was a kid, I wanted to be like on like shows and TVs, and like I wanted to be an actor when I was a kid. So that's probably why I got.
Really? You
Mhm.
got you have the commentary. You
Oh,
should
well,
have done
thank
it.
you for that. Thank you, baby.
So I just had a question. So
Mhm.
right now I'm actually having like a hard time like conceiving. I just
Mhm.
came from the doctor not too like a couple of days
Yeah.
ago. So I wanted to know if like you see like me with another child, preferably.
Yeah. Do you know if there's do you know if they talked about fibrosis or possibly like some pressure or a little bit of I almost feel like one of your ovaries is moved over. So something might be pushing it over to in some way where it's affecting the process. Do you know if they mentioned anything like that to you?
Something about that. Yes, it definitely has to do with my ovaries.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because I'm feeling like there is something physically affecting the ovaries, but I almost feel like the ovary itself is not the issue. It's what's next to it or the
It's
area.
they were saying something like with the fallopian tubes, like kind of blocked from
Yeah, like
being.
yeah, something's pushing into that, and it's messing the way that it normally would situate in the system. So I feel like something is messing with it. What I think is going to happen, there's two things that I think they're going to recommend because I feel like you will conceive. I'm thinking by August ish is what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking
Oh,
around the second half of this year is when you get pregnant. It's not going to take you very long. I almost feel like it might be something that either can be treated with medication or they can just go in and kind of snip and reduce the scarring that's there that may be causing some of this as well. This might have been triggered by a past incident or an event of something went on within your reproductive system, but it's
mhm.
just now affecting it and there's some scarring tissue there. But I feel like they'll be able to work around it.
Okay. And another question that I have that I'm actually really interested in knowing is like my grandmother passed away when I was 11 years old, a very long time ago, but I miss her so much. It feels like it was like just yesterday. And I just want to know, is there anything that, I haven't had dreams about her or anything like that since I was like a kid. So I
Yeah.
wanted to know, like,
Yeah. Do you know if Granny was big into gardening or like flowers or gardening?
she liked flowers. Yes.
Okay, because I'm seeing like I was seeing like a rose bush or like flower bushes, and so I was seeing something like that. Do you know? Did she have a front porch where she lived at?
Yes, she did.
Okay. Do you know part of the porch was kind of slanted or broken over where it was kind of like leaning down?
Yes.
Okay, because she's
Yes.
sitting. This is her heaven, so she's still like her heaven is this. So she's just there, just sitting, chilling. She does send butterflies to you and ladybugs. So both of those things, butterflies and ladybugs, are going to be connected to her.
Oh,
But the
okay.
butterfly has a double meaning because there's a baby attached to a butterfly. So there might have been a past either a miscarriage, loss, or termination that may be tied to the butterfly. So there might be a baby connected to that. Are you aware of one? A baby that's miscarried, lost,
Yes.
or terminated? Okay. So
Yes.
that's just the butterfly, but also Granny uses a butterfly as well. She also keeps, thank you. She's like singing. She liked to sing for fun. Do you remember her singing sometimes and belting it
Yes.
out? Okay, because she's
Yes.
really trying to give it to me. Did she used to say things or say stories about being related to someone famous or to someone who was like known, but it was like tied into the grapevine in the family?
I believe, not trying to be funny, something with Jackie Robinson, if I'm
Okay.
not mistaken.
Because she says that that's still true. So she says you can look it up. This is true. So she's saying that. So I'm thinking she still means it. She also keeps making reference to the 17th. The 17th. Do you know if the 17th of a month is significant? Or January 7?
Oh, if I'm not mistaken, that's like her anniversary or something
Okay.
like that.
So just trying to acknowledge the date of significance. She also keeps thank you. Corrine or Courtney. Is there a Corrine or Courtney sounding name connected?
Not
With
that
a
I know of.
sister? With a sister or like a sister-in-law connected to her?
Not that I know of.
There's like a Corrine or a Courtney, Cor or Cour sounding name that's connected to the family, but it's almost like either her sister or sister-in-law. It's almost like something like, because there might actually have been two families, or there might have been there's a red bird in front of me. That's what I was trying to figure it out. two families where someone might have had children with more than one person. And so she's like tying herself to like, there might be an extension to the family that either y'all aren't fully aware of or that y'all may be finding out about within the next year or two. But there's this Corrine or Courtney sounding name. I want to say this is a person that's passed away, but you might just have to do some research there. Do you know also of the story where one of the males in the family, he was a part of building one of like a well-known bridge where they were from?
No.
Like, for example, like when you think of like the Golden Gate Bridge, or like it's like a well-known bridge. There's a male that's also part of the family who was a part of building this well-known bridge in that area. And so she's acknowledging, yeah, if y'all do Ancestry, y'all be able to find this because I feel like it's all there in Ancestry. And there might be even like someone in that family, that person's family, might have posted something about the bridge because that's their thing in the family. So there's something like that. She also is acknowledging. She says she's proud of you, so she wants you to know that she's proud of you. Do you have a prayer book or religious book, like a Bible that's connected to her or her name written in a religious book?
I used to. I don't have it anymore. I used to.
Yeah, she's just acknowledging that she knows about the book that you have. So she's just making reference to that. FYI, she's going to bring you a similar book like that. Not because she says you need to go through it, from beginning to end, but because she wants you to know that she's with you. So you might end up receiving a book that is very similar or looks very similar to the one you had.
Okay.
Okay, so look out for that. Okay.
And one more question. I know you got to go. I just applied for a new position. What career path am I gonna go into? Like, am I gonna get this job? Am I gonna finish nursing school? Like, what? I'm in the medical field, by the way. Yeah. So I'm just trying to find myself. I feel a little stuck sometimes, like a little. Yeah, the position that you applied for, is it on the administrative side or it's not on the clinical side? Right now I'm temporarily in the administrative side, but I applied for a clinical position. Yeah, then it's just backwards in my head. Yes, the answer is yes. 2.5 months. Okay, perfect. When you go into that other position, there's a female there who thinks that she runs everything, even though she don't really have the authority. Just like yes, ma'am, no. Like, I mean, just go with it. Just because she ain't around that much longer, anyways. And you might actually have an opportunity to move up faster when she's out of the picture. Okay, thank you. You're welcome, sweetheart. Well, you take care of yourself, Mama. Thank you. Keep making me laugh. I hope so. I would hate for you to be bored for an hour and a half. So. Okay, bye-bye. All right, so let's see. Let's bring another person on here. What time is it? We still got some time. Let's see. Oh, I got comfortable. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I'm so glad I got to have a reading with you. We love you.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, if you start to notice more hair shedding than usual, or you start to have weird things going on with your hair, it's your hormones. You probably need to check your hormones.
No, thank you. Yeah, I've lost a lot of hair here and it's just coming out in clumps in the shower, so thanks for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, love. What would you like to?
Just in regards to my grandpa, I just want to know if I've got any messages from him and maybe just some, like, if we're going to move soon, just a general kind of.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. I'll answer that first and then I'll get to grandpa because that's going to take more time.
Beautiful.
With moving soon, I think it might take, y'all will start the actual moving process in about 5 months, but it might take up to 7 to get it all done. Okay. So just FYI, there's like a 5 to 7 month period for all of that to take place.
Okay, thank you.
With grandfather, did your grandfather fight was he in the military? Did he fight in a war?
Yeah, he was in the Navy.
Got it, because he's like saluting, so he's acknowledging that. He's also repeating his name. Is he not the only person in the family that has the same name?
My cousin has the middle name, the same name as him.
Perfect. And then there's another family member that also has the same name?
Yes, there is actually. Yeah, my uncle, I just realized. Yep.
That's okay. Yeah, because he was showing me too. So he's acknowledging that. He's also, thank you. The Hornet, the Harriet? No. Do you know there's a thing with the name like that sounds like Harriet or Hornet or Harlow? It's like an H-A-R sounding name, but I want to apply it to a ship name for some reason. Do you know if you ever served in a vessel that was an H name?
No, I think it was the vulnerable.
In the
Okay,
Kenya.
that's
In
okay.
Kenya? Yeah.
The what?
The Kenya?
Okay. Now that may not be the ship then. Do you know if he also had an interest in actual boats or sailing outside of the Navy?
Yes, he did. Yes.
Okay, got it. Because I want to apply that name to almost like something that gets personalized. Because it almost was like a personalized name that I would add to a vessel or to a ship. So there's something. I feel like there's something connecting his interest in boating or in a dock or marina or boating with this H name that feels a little personal or feels like it has a name designation. So just
Okay.
FYI, because you might have to
Yeah.
think about that. He's showing me a watch. Do you know of a watch or a clock that's also connected to him?
Yeah, he actually gave my son his watch before he
Perfect.
died.
So he knows about this. He also keeps acknowledging the 7th. Do you know if the month of July or the 7th of a month is connected?
Not off the top of my head.
And it would be a double date because he's showing me July and then he's taking me into August. So there's a date in July and then one right after that, which is in August.
He did pass away in August.
Okay, so that's the first. That's one date. Then there's another date in July that he's making reference to. So there might be another date of significance in July because he showed me July and then right after that, which is in August. So just FYI. He also keeps, thank you, Melanie or Melaine or Mel. Do you know if there's a Melanie, Melaine, Mel sounding name that's connected?
No, not off the top of my head.
That's okay. It would still be living and it might be connected to your significant other.
Oh, okay. No, not that I can think of.
So what I'm seeing in my mind, which makes me think of this ML. So at first I was thinking maybe this is like a Melanie name or Malone or Melanie, but then I started seeing Melrose Place, which is a show that I used to watch. So Melrose. So yeah. So just FYI, that name may somehow tie in to someone connected to your husband's family or to the spouse's family. But he's just trying to give me an idea of who's with him or who's around him in spirit as well. He also is bending my hand a little bit. Do you know if he had lost mobility with one of his hands before he passed?
He did. He had a stroke.
Okay, because he's acknowledging not having the mobility with one hand, which would make sense if it's one side of the body. So he's acknowledging that. He's actually showing me two. Did he have more than one stroke or two strokes?
Yes, he did. He had multiple.
Yeah, he's just acknowledging that this was just an ongoing thing with him. He is fine. He's happy. He's acknowledging your mom.
Okay.
Mommy. And he just said birthday. Are we within 30 days of a birthday?
My birthday's coming up in 2 weeks.
Perfect. He's just wishing you a happy birthday. So he just wanted to wish you a happy birthday as well. He's also he's a sparrow, so he might come around as a sparrow for you.
Oh, nice. That's cool. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, my dear. All right, love. You take care of yourself.
Thank you. See you later.
Bye, sweetheart. All right, let's see. Where am I at? My time. Okay, I think I'm at LA Carson 64. Why am I so sick? Check your thyroid. And also check your pancreas, because I think that this is an endocrine. It might be based in the endocrine system, and the thyroid and the pancreas might be contributing to it. So you might need to check those systems, because I feel like they're kind of, it's almost like so the pancreas is supposed to produce digestive enzymes. It also helps with regulating blood sugar and all that, but it's supposed to help with digestive enzymes. But if it's producing something it's not supposed to be producing, or something's happening, I almost feel like it's causing this whole weird havoc-y event in your system, and then this may start to be accumulating in your bloodstream. So you might need to follow it up with a doctor. I would suggest an endocrinologist, but ask a doctor, because I'm not diagnosing. I can just tell you what I'm feeling about it. Don Gomez, do you see me passing my CPC exam? Yeah, you might have to try it twice though. So be prepared, because it might take two tries. If you've already tried once, then this is the second, then I would say, yeah, you're good to go. But if this is your first, you better bust your ass studying, because I don't want you to have to take it twice, okay? Let me go over here. Let me switch, because... And that froze too. The TikTok screen froze. Did not know, y'all. Totally didn't know. I was like over here, like if ever it freezes, y'all, just say that and just tell me which one is it, because y'all can be able to tell, right? It's like, oh, it's frozen, babe. Because I don't know what this is about. Something's going on here. Yeah, the TikTok totally froze. That's okay. Yeah. Okay, but that's froze. That's okay. I'm already on over here, so that's okay. Let me do a couple more here. Oh, there it goes. Okay, cool. Yeah, I use old phones to like send this over to, so sometimes one of my older ones is like a 6 Plus and it like freezes up on TikTok. Let me do one more, shall we? Let me do one more. I know, let's see, there was a person that I tried earlier and I couldn't get her on. Let me try her again. Ooh, I'm getting hot. Here we go. Let's try Jecca Perez. I think she's trying to say Jessica, but she's trying to be special.
What?
Hello. Hey, Mama, how you doing?
Oh, hold on.
Wait.
Oh my God.
I'm like, what's going on? Where's your picture? How you doing, sweetheart? Is it Jessica or is it Jecca?
I have you in both ways,
Oh,
TikTok and over here. It's Jessica.
Oh, that's cool. Wait, turn off the other one because I can hear myself and I'll make myself crazy.
Yeah, I do.
Hey, turn off the other one because I can hear myself and I'll make myself crazy.
Did I get to turn it off? Hold on. Oh my goodness, I'm so nervous.
No, you're fine. It's just me. You can block everybody else out.
Okay.
That's me.
Got you.
All right.
All right.
What'd you
All right. I wanted to ask, when would I get closer to my guides?
What?
To my guides. When would I get closer to my guides?
What do you mean when?
Like, because I've been working on it. I know I was, before when I was little, I used to have dreams.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden, when I see my father's dream, I got scared, so scared that I was petrified. I blocked it. I never wanted to go to sleep. I always go to sleep when I'm really, really, really tired, like dead on. And then as I got older, my father passed away, and now I understand the dream that, you know, that he was really going to pass away by himself, and that, you know, so I accepted it now. But since I blocked it, now I'm trying to get it back. I mean, it's kind of difficult.
So yeah, the thing about it is you're creating a self block, and what's happening is, in order for you to like release that block, you have to trust the process. In other words, I believe that I'm aligned with the source and with God of the universe. I believe that I'm focused on love and intend love and healing for people. I believe and accept who I'm supposed to be in the world, even if at times it costs me pain to help other people. Okay. And so because I believe this, there's a mechanism in my brain that helps me to stay above the negativity that I could potentially sense. And I usually focus more on the positive or more positive things. I still pick up on negative stuff because I have to give myself over to the process. And sometimes in order for me to understand what's going on in someone's life, I have to be open to their suffering and I have to understand it. But I'm not trying to like connect with, you know, this person or that person. And so there's an acceptance there, but I trust the process. When you had that initial experience, it scared the hell out of you. It scared the heaven out of you, meaning that you weren't willing to accept the positive because you were so afraid that it might be negative and not positive that you're experiencing. You have to have faith in the process. So you can do it one of two ways. You can either start to build your faith in the process with God or with the universe about this, and then having more trust in that. And then that should lower that threshold a little bit. But also, you need to just allow yourself to be used instead of trying to expect it to come a certain way. So,
and I think that's what I'm doing. I'm trying to expect
expectation. Well, how do you expect them to show up? How do you expect your guide to show up?
Yeah, I was like, it's crazy because I'm like, I wanna do this because I wanna help out. I wanna, you know, be unique me. But at the same time, I'm like, am I hearing this? Am I not hearing this? Is it me or is it just my brain? So I'm just like getting so confused.
Yeah, you're never going to have confirmation or guarantee that it's you. You just have to trust that it's coming from you. But the universe or things will come up that will affirm for you that it is you. But just because I'm asking you to trust it doesn't mean I'm asking you to act on it. There's two different things. Trusting means maybe what I'm getting isn't me. Maybe what I'm getting, maybe what's coming through, maybe what I'm feeling is something else. I don't know. I don't know for sure, but I don't want to dismiss what I'm receiving. So I'm going to take this book out, or I'm going to take my little notepad and my phone out, and I'm going to just type down what I'm getting, or I'm going to write down what I'm getting, and I'm going to add a date. That's it. That way you've given the universe permission to keep sending you stuff because you're receiving it and doing something with it. You don't have to go out and deal with somebody or grab someone off the street, but you're giving yourself an outlet to channel the energy, because the energy builds. If we don't use it, then it just simply starts to affect us physically or starts to affect the environment around us. But if we channel it, it comes through and goes out. And so you have to channel it out of yourself. If you don't channel it out of yourself, how's the universe? If the universe gives you $2 but you never spend it, why would the universe give you more money? You didn't even do nothing with those $2. Why should I give her something? She didn't even. She's just holding on to it like it ain't gonna never. So you're holding on to the channeling energy. You're holding on to it. You're keeping it from coming through clearly. So you need to channel it out. Give yourself an outlet. If it just means writing it for yourself, but at least you can go back and look at what you wrote, and then that's the confirmation. People will say things to you and be like, oh my God, I wrote that down for you. And then you can say, look what I wrote down 5 weeks ago or whatever. It's there. And so
yeah, because I do that in conversations. Like when we have conversations, I think about what the person's gonna say fast, and it's in my head first, and then I'm like, I just said that in my head. Like, what the heck?
Yeah,
so it's like kind of,
you have to trust it. I mean, you're never going to get 100% guarantee that everything you're saying is right, but the more you trust it and you give yourself permission to just go with it, the stronger and more precise it'll get. But that's just the flow. You still have to figure out how to make sense of the data in your head, because information is going to come through, and sometimes it's very confusing, like the dream that you had, and you didn't understand all of the details, so it scared you and shut you down. I still have prophetic dreams where I don't understand fully the symbolism, even though with other people's dreams, I can interpret other people's dreams like nobody's business. But with my dreams, because I have a stake in the pie, it's hard to understand. So I try to do my very best in breaking it down. And even then, when something happens like a year later, I'm like, oh my God, I totally misinterpreted what I was seeing. But it's there. And at least I recorded it and I shared it on social media. And so for you, you just need to ask them to share information with you that can be useful to help other people. That's it. If it's not going to help somebody, why do you need to receive it? You don't need to get it. So just say, hey, send me what I needed. Send me what I can to help other people. And if it don't matter to nobody, then don't send it to me. I don't need to see it. And that's it. And then trust in the process, give yourself an outlet, and then start expressing it in one way, shape, or form. And then you'll get more comfortable and you'll build that momentum.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. And I have one more question.
Yeah.
Okay. I was working before and I was putting money inside a boot. Somebody took a lump sum amount from that boot. I would like to know who it was.
I want to say it was a male, but I want to say it's a male connected to a younger female. So I want to say, like, if there was like a younger female around, whether it be a daughter or a niece or whatever, but it's like the male connected to a younger female. So it's almost like
it was between two, or either my son or either my fiance.
That's not cooking for me. I'm not to say that your fiance is not capable of. I definitely think that they're capable of it. I just don't think that I think they actually may have taken some, but I don't think that's where the bulk of it went. I feel like there's a male connected to a younger female. When this happened, was your son in a new relationship with a younger girl?
Yeah, in a new relationship, yeah.
Okay. Were you kind of liking the girl? Or were you kind of feeling like, oh, she don't even know what
for her? The thing is, my son was in a relationship and had a child with one girl, and then after that, he started when he first got here, he wasn't dating anybody, and then all of a sudden he started dating somebody else.
Okay, so I want to say, have you met the other one that he started dating?
No, I seen her through phone, but I haven't met her like face to face.
if I were gonna pick between like if those are the two options, I would say the more likely culprit is your son and not your fiance. Even though I think your fiance might have taken something from time to time, like a 20 or 10, but I don't feel like it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, with him, it's like it's funny.
I almost feel like this would be like $300, almost $400. How much did they take?
I had 10,000. I still with 4,000.
Okay, you still have 4,000. So I want to say, I don't feel like your fiance took a lot of it. I mean, these are like accusations, so you want to prove this. But I want to say I kept seeing 36, like 36. So I was thinking that this was like 36 amount. So between 3 to 400. If this is in the thousands, between 3 to 4,000. So I'm leaning more towards your son than your fiance.
Yeah.
But I also think the younger female was that was a part of the equation because they were trying to impress or trying to do stuff, and they may have needed some help, and they wanted to help them out. So in their mind, they may have felt like they had reasons to, even though I don't feel like they actually did. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I forgive
around
them
that time,
anyway.
you know, there was something going on with your son in a vehicle or with the girl in the vehicle.
I have no clue. Because he all of a sudden when that happened, he went apart. And now not too long ago, he texted me and he was like, "Oh, this is my girlfriend," and presented me to her. But then it's kind of funny because all of a sudden he never had tattoos. He never had anything. Now he's all covered up. He look like he just came from jail. I'm like, boy, what's wrong with you? I never teach you this, you know?
Well,
I have tattoos.
Yeah, well,
and
some guys
everything.
are hot. Like some of these tattooed guys are freaking hot as hell, you know.
Yo, that's true.
But if you just look, if you ugly and then you wearing tattoos, like it ain't gonna work. You know, you're gonna have to.
No, but everybody tells me my son is a cutie. Yeah. But it's like it was just crazy. I was like, man, you look like you just came from jail. You're not, you know. I never teach you none of this stuff, but hey, you know, it's your decision. I respect that.
100%, and I don't like to accuse people, but I would.
No. It's not
more towards your son than your fiance. I think your
but I
might
mean,
have taken a 20 or 10 from time to time. I don't feel like they took thousands of dollars.
No, but it was. I was like, oh my god, like what the heck? Because
I don't think it's your fiance. I feel like it might have been your son.
Yeah, because I was like the one who took the ring, because I had an engagement ring not too long ago, and I was like the one who took the ring must taken the money. But now that I come to think of it, he wasn't here when the ring was missing.
I don't think the ring was the person that took the money.
Yeah. It's not connected.
No.
But I mean, I don't care about the money. The money ain't nothing. It's just that I'm thinking like, who took my engagement ring?
But see, that's the thing. It's not about caring about the money. There was a guy who was doing errands for me, and like I trusted him with $500 for the groceries, and then he had got into some bullshit, and I lost the $500. I'm fine. I'm not suffering from it, but at least I know who that person is. And so now I actually intentionally put people in positions where they have to deal with like really sensitive things, because I want to see how they're going to respond or how they're going to actually reveal themselves, because sometimes you just have to take the risk to see who somebody is, and the best way to find out who somebody is by actually giving them something to be responsible for that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg if you lose it. And so that's my way of, so yeah, but no.
You're all right.
All right, Mama. Well, you take care.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. God bless you, and keep on doing what you're doing. You're a blessing.
Thank you, baby.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay.
So I think I'm done, guys, because it's like 6:42. I'm supposed to be here till 6:30. So I'm hot and I'm hungry. So I love you all. I will be back next Wednesday. I won't be on Friday next week just because Friday's my birthday. And so I took the day off, so I'm not gonna be on here. I'm gonna be like just doing whatever. But I will be back on Wednesday. Okay, I'll actually try to go with longer on Wednesday since I'm not gonna be on here Friday. Okay, all right, y'all. I love you all, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.